Hey, would you believe it? There's no water falling from the sky. What is going on? So guys, hello and welcome back. I do apologise for the radio silence the past few weeks. Work commitments and that wretched weather has just squashed any plans I had to get out on video for you. But this is a video that I've been wanting to make for a few weeks now. Due to the fact I left you a little bit in the lurch in the last couple of videos. Land Rover needed MOT, flew through it. What was I worried about? Absolutely flew through it. Something I don't say on my channel is my vehicles are quite well maintained. Thanks to John for that, who always looks after my vehicles, gets them MOT'd. Anything they need doing, I always just throw the money at them and make sure they're safe. So Land Rover needed a few minor repairs and they're all done and she's up and running sweet. Now I say a few minor repairs. I have a reoccurring problem. Every MOT, the bottom passenger side shock seems to come loose on its bushings. And they just need readjusting and putting back on, something or nothing. And it needed the brakes adjusting, and besides that, flew through its MOT, no problems at all, which I'm 100% happy about. I wanted to show you a couple of little modifications that I've made just to make life a little bit better. If you watched the video where I spent a night in this very barn in the back of the Land Rover, I had a few little complaints and a few little things that I wanted to do to improve life in there. One of which was the fridge. So being quite lucky, I do have two fridges to my disposal, or in my possession, one of which is a Snowmaster. Now the Snowmaster is ever so slightly shorter than the Engel. So I took the Engel out and I've put the Snowmaster in, and now I can have it plugged in when my bed's extended, which is one of the worries I had. I've not shown you this before, but it is on sliders. That's the table. So just got to pull it out like that, and it does slide right the way out, which enables us to open it perfectly from the outside. Now the other thing is it's accessible from the inside, because this is a side opener. It's accessible from the inside as well. So in the morning, if I don't want to get away because it's absolutely thrashing down, I can open the fridge and get my milk out and make my brew inside on the counter. So this fridge, a lot more suitable for this build. Now the other complaint I had was this curtain just here. Can you see that just there? It was just way too long. I hadn't cut it down short enough. So I took a few inches off the actual length, the drop, and I took a few inches off the width as well. Now it just fits a lot better. And when I'm not using the vehicle or when I'm sleeping in the vehicle, this all closes up like that. This wraps around and it blocks out any light, because anybody that knows me knows I'm absolutely rubbish at sleeping. I've done another modification, but I'll have to take you around the back to show you that. So this modification is quite dangerous, and if you don't know about it, you can lose your bloody arm. And I always forget, but check this out. I replaced the gas strut on the door, and it doesn't half whip open, and you've got to proper shove it to shut it. I think it's something to do with me not carrying a spare wheel on the back of my vehicle, something I'm going to have to look at when I go away. But yeah, all very tidy in here, all very clean as usual, as you'd expect. I've got a few dehumidifiers in it, just to draw any water out. These are quite good, get them off Amazon. And they're meant for caravans, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a load of water in it where it's been drawing the moisture out the vehicle. Now I did use the vehicle last week, in fact, 4 days of the work week. I used the Land Rover just to go back and forth to work, just to keep it running smooth basically. Does them no good being sat up for any prolonged periods of time. But yeah, she's all lovely. I'll just take you a little bit closer and show you the inside. So I've just moved my shopping bags onto the bed just there, just so they're out the way. And that's what she's looking like inside at the moment. All clean and tidy, all lovely. I have put my big sleeping bag in, because last few times I've stayed out in her I have been a little bit chilly. So I thought, be prepared, have the big sleeping bag, and just up top, on top of the cupboards, I've got my sleeping blankets as well, made by One Wind. But that thing is far thicker fleece lined. I think it's two or three sleeping bags zipped in one. It's a carp fishing one. So guys, now on to my little conundrum, if you will, and my little problem, and I'm hoping you guys will be able to advise me the best route to go down. One does involve a bit of cost, and one is going to be relatively flip free, just a little bit of work, although they both involve a little bit of work. But yeah, what would you guys do? So I'm going to be on the road for about 17 days towards the end of the year on a big road trip that I'm planning. I'm going to be living in the Land Rover, parking in laybys, car parks, etc. So I'm not going to be near any grid power, if you will. So I'm going to be completely off grid. Now I've got two solar generators. I've got a little one and a big one. Probably enough power for 6 to 8 days, depending on what I'm running and how much I'm running it. Now the problem I've got is, how am I going to get power back into them whilst I'm living out on the road? The way I see it is I've got two options. I can either wire the inverter back up that's in the vehicle, never even seen it, I just cut the wires because they were draining the house battery in the vehicle. So I could trace them back, put them on crock clips, and whilst I'm driving and running the vehicle, I could have 3-pin plug-in and I could be charging up my solar generators. The other option that does involve a bit of cost is I could buy a couple of solar panels, chuck them on the roof, and obviously if it's sunny I could be off-grid charging my solar generators. Both have pros and cons. If it's not sunny, the solar generators are not going to work efficiently. If I'm not driving, I'm not going to have any power because I'm not going to be generating it via the inverter. So yeah, I just wanted to reach out and ask how you guys have done it in the past. Have you been out for over a long weekend or a week or a prolonged period of time where you need that much power? I know a lot of my friends do have larger power systems in their vans and such. I haven't got such luxuries because I haven't got the space to put a big power system in there. Plus I enjoy having the two solar generators because it means if I'm doing any woodwork here in the barn, or if I'm taking the cruiser somewhere and I'm ground dwelling, I can still take a solar generator with me and have the luxury of power. But yeah, what route would you go down, or am I missing something? Is there another option available out there? Just to charge up my power banks and just to give me power whilst I'm out on the road. I'm going to need power. Obviously I'm on road for 17 days as I mentioned, so I'm going to need power for my fridge. It is going to be towards the end of the year, so I'm expecting a little bit of cold weather, so no doubt I'm going to be firing up the diesel generator as well on the odd occasion. But yeah, if you guys can reach out to me and steer me in the right direction, it would be much appreciated. So guys, I thought I'd bring you outside just to sign off and just to look at the cruiser. She gets lots of money spent on her too. She gets looked after, but she's so pretty, I can't resist spending money on her. Anyway guys, I am going out next week. I'm going exploring somewhere around the Manchester area with Leon and Sean. So make sure you tune in for that video too. All that's left to say is I hope this video finds you and yours well. And I'll see you again in another video very, very soon.